Welcome to the Definitive Kettlebell Swing Guide. The following is a step-by-step guide to learning and mastering the kettlebell swing. Working with a coach in person will always provide the best and safest results. However, you can accomplish a lot through detailed demonstration and instructions, intentional practice, and honest feedback. I recommend that you video each set and drill to ensure that you are performing each movement correctly before advancing. Every body is different, and your movement patterns should not look identical to those demonstrated here. I'll describe each movement and drill with both visual and sensational cues so that you'll understand not only how each movement should look, but how it should feel. Let's get swinging. We'll begin with drills to establish the hip hinge, the hallmark of the kettlebell swing. The V hinge. Take a stance about shoulder width and place your hands into the V of your hips. Push your hips back with your hands, soften your knees to allow your hips to travel as far back behind you as possible. Next, move to a wall. Standing only a few inches from the wall, repeat the drill until you touch the wall behind you. Progressively inch your feet away from the wall, requiring you to hinge your hips further and further back. When you reach the limits of your reach, keep your feet in place and perform at least 5 reps. Hinge tension drill. Use this simple drill to ensure that you are loading your hinge properly. Pause in the bottom of your hinge position. Place your palms on your knees or upper shins. Let your knees come forward into your hands. Now pull your knees back by pushing with your hands and feel the tension turn on the backside of your legs. This is the sensation that you want to feel in your hinge. You can move your knees back and forth to feel how this turns the tension on and off in your hamstrings. The pole hinge. Now that you're hinging well, grab a PVC pipe or broom handle. Place it against your back while gripping near your neck and the small of your back. The pole should contact your backside in 3 places: the back of your head, between your shoulder blades, and on your tailbone. Maintaining the contact in all 3 of these locations, repeat the hinge drill, ensuring that you still feel tension in your hamstrings. The handcuff hinge. A final drill to develop your hip hinge is called the handcuff hinge. Hold a kettlebell behind you at or below hip height. Hinge back by pushing into the kettlebell. Using a weight to push against will ensure that you move your hips back and forth rather than up and down. Now that you've established your hip hinge, it's time to build the kettlebell swing. We'll begin with the kettlebell deadlift. Set up with the handle of your kettlebell in line with the arches of your feet. Place your hands in the V of your hips as before, hinge back, then grip the kettlebell. Return to standing just as you came out of your hinge before. Repeat this for 5 reps, ensuring that the kettlebell contacts between the arches of your feet, not forward toward your toes. For your kettlebell swing and all the remaining drills, use the following setup position. Set your feet up about shoulder width apart and with your toes about 1 foot behind the kettlebell. V hinge down to your bottom position. Maintain this position, rock forward to grip the kettlebell, then shift your weight back onto your heels to reload your hinge position. The kettlebell handle should now be in line with your arms. The kettlebell drag. The kettlebell drag will teach you how to initiate a set of swings. From the setup position, drag the kettlebell along the ground between your legs with straight arms. Step backward, set up again, and repeat for at least 5 reps. The kettlebell pendulum. From the setup position, hike the kettlebell between your legs as forcefully as though you're attempting to throw it behind you. Then allow the kettlebell to swing forward and return it to the setup position on the ground. After several reps of the pendulum stop drill, try linking pendulum swings together. Allow the kettlebell to swing back forward and hike it back as it begins to swing toward you. This drill will teach you about timing of the kettlebell swing. Imagine pushing a child on a swing. adding force while not abruptly altering the natural rhythm of the swing. With each of these drills, be sure to hike the bell high and tight so that the kettlebell appears behind you from the side and no light shows between your wrists, the bell, and your inner thighs. The dead stop swing. Now we're ready to begin swinging, and we'll begin with a single swing, known as the dead stop swing. Set up as before, hike the bell back, then extend out of your hinge rapidly, allowing the bell to swing away from your body. As the bell descends, hike it back between your legs, returning to your hinge position. Repeat this for several reps. This way of initiating the swing and returning the kettlebell safely to the ground are exactly how you should perform the beginning and end of a longer set of swings. The kettlebell swing. All that remains is for us to link multiple swings in a row. As the bell descends from the first swing, hike it back into the bottom position and initiate another swing. Repeat this for at least 10 reps. It's normal for swings to feel awkward or mistimed when beginning. Performing longer sets of 7 to 10 reps allows your body to make adjustments within the set. Give your body that time. Don't worry if it doesn't feel smooth yet. The following section is all about the common faults and drills to correct them. Fault number 1. The up and down swing. The most common kettlebell swing fault is making the movement closer to a squat than a hip hinge. Ways to spot this include your knees pushing over your toes and shins leaning forward past vertical, the kettlebell dipping low in the bottom position rather than showing out behind you. Fault number 2, the re-dip. A related and equally common fault is adding a re-bend in the knees. This looks like a proper swing on the hike, but rather than extending straight back out of the hinge, re-bending the knees, sending them forward and the chest up, essentially into the same position as the previous fault. Both of these faults can be remedied with similar drills. First, simply change your intention. Focus on making the movement back and forth rather than up and down. Essentially think about your hips, your shoulders, and the kettlebell moving back and forth horizontally rather than up and down. Next, revisit the hinge tension drill, pushing your knees forward and back in the bottom position. Deeply feel the tension that comes from keeping your knees pulled back and seek to recreate this sensation with each swing repetition. Finally, use a set of plyometric hurdles or gymnastics parallettes to prevent your knees and shins from moving forward. Set up for your swings with your hurdles about 1 inch in front of your shins. Now simply perform your swings without allowing your shins to touch the hurdles. If you need to use these little physical reminders for all of your swings for the coming weeks or months, the training effect is the same, and they ensure that you're moving well. The final common fault involves timing. Both allowing your arms and kettlebell to drift away from your body before reaching a full lockout standing position. This is typically coupled with breaking the hips and beginning to hinge back before the kettlebell has completely descended. Fixing these faults takes focus, practice, and a shift in intention. First, think about extending the time that your arms contact your body. This means remaining standing tall until your arms touch your chest and only then beginning the hinge. Similarly, when extending, keep your arms pressed against your body until your hips arrive in full lockout. All of these faults take time, practice, and honest feedback. A coach, a friend, or video review make invaluable training partners. Great job with all of the extensive drills and progressions in this video. Kettlebell training hinges on this movement, and your dedication to perform the swing well will allow the more complex movements to come more naturally. Thank you for watching. Please check out the rest of the series to take your kettlebell training to the next level.